think I finally figured it out. I have figured something out, and that is to always bring a camera with me, because I get my best ideas, whoops, a little Van Halen. I get my best ideas when I'm not sitting in front of a camera. I get my best ideas when I'm doing something else, like driving or taking a shower. I'm not gonna take a camera in with me while I'm taking a shower though, because number one, it's faster. Number two, the videos are better. I do not advise shooting a video while you're driving a manual transmission. So I have a bit of a history with Q Acoustics. Today we're going to be talking about the Q Acoustics. I have a hard time saying that. The Q Acoustics 5050. It's their new floor standing speaker. I started with Q though all the way back in the beginning of the channel. And I bought all of it. So the 3020s, the 3030s. Very nice woofer. Hold on, I haven't done this in a while. Oh yeah. Oh, let's bring her up here. I found those on sale on Amazon and I bought them and I reviewed them and I liked them. I could see why this speaker, I could see why Q Acoustics is highly regarded, because you get a lot of speaker for the money. And I can see from a technical standpoint why people liked them so much. Now the latest series, the 5000 series, has been really good. I really like those speakers. And I couldn't quite put my finger on why until yesterday. So we're going to talk about that. So don't worry, we're going to talk about specs. We're going to talk about all the good stuff that I usually talk about. But I'm going to key in on one thing that I think makes this speaker very special. Did you know the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin is legit only like 2 minutes and 30 seconds? I don't even think it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. It's so weird to me. Anyway, great song. The 5050s are $2,000, which is not cheap. When I go to the shows though, like at Exponent in Chicago, the 5000 series from Q Acoustics is actually probably one of the most affordable speaker lines there. 5020s come in around $800 or $900. The 5040s, which is the smaller floor standing speaker, comes in at $1,500. In the grand scheme of hi-fi pricing, these speakers would be considered mid-tier, which I hate these labels. I don't like the labels. So the 5000 series is the newest affordable line. However, there may be something else coming out from Q Acoustics soon. Let's hope so. And now we shall commence the reading of the specifications. 2 6-inch woofers. 1 1-inch tweeter. Frequency response 37 hertz to 30,000 hertz. Nominal impedance 6 ohms. Minimum impedance 3 ohms. Sensitivity 91.8 decibels. Recommended amplifier power 25 to 150 watts. Crossover frequency, no one probably liked that bit. Crossover frequency 27 kilohertz. Effective volume 39.7 liters. In a pinch, you could hide a lot of liquor in there from your wife. However, I wouldn't recommend that. Probably not waterproof. You get spikes and stabilizers, and on the back, there's these little outrigger feet. Keep it from falling over because it's curvy on the bottom. So you're going to want those spikes and the outrigger feet. Don't leave them off. The woofers have a continuous curve thing. The tweeter is hermetically sealed and mechanically isolated from the enclosure. They borrowed that concept from the Concept series. And the woofer, they use the C3 continuous curved cones, trademarked, made from paper, impregnated paper, and I assume it's impregnated with Cadbury's dairy milk. At least that's what I've heard. Got point-to-point bracing. Most importantly, though, you have the HPE, also trademarked, Helmholtz pressure equalizer. I made this joke before on another Q Acoustics video. It sounds like a movie that Liam Neeson is starring in where he's saving his wife and daughter. He's like 70. At what point does he age out from being an action star? And has anybody seen the first 3 Taken movies? His wife, his daughter, I think both in one of them. I think he's just a bad dad. That's really what it comes down to. Your daughter gets abducted, bad luck. But 3 times, I think it's him. Let's talk about how they sound compared to the Concept series and some of the other speakers in their line. Compared to the Concept series, and I have the Concept 30 that I compared the 5020 to, so I'm painting with broad strokes here. For me, the Concept 30 was good, but tame. Didn't feel like it was nearly as dynamic as the 5020. I like the 5020 better. Livelier. Punches a little bit harder. 5040s, I think, are just awesome. And I'm not going to give away what I figured out until the end, which at this point you're probably ready to burn my eyebrows off because I've taken this long to start talking about how they sound. So, compared to the 3030s, I thought those were tame. Compared to the powered speaker that I had in here, I thought that was tame. Feel like they're kind of letting the speakers stretch their legs a little bit. And while I knew the other speakers were good, the Concept 30, the 3030s, the 3030Is, all of those speakers, now we're getting into a speaker that I really like. Now remember, just because I like it doesn't mean you have to like it. The thing about the 5050s, though, is a lot of people like them. Sometimes you get a whole bunch of professionals liking them. I don't consider myself a professional. If you get a whole bunch of professionals liking them and saying similar things, then chances are that is a very good speaker. When it came to the 5040s, I think what I was most surprised with was the level of detail and it almost having a laid back presentation while simultaneously being exciting. I don't think I've ever heard that before in a speaker. The 5050s were taking that to the next level. I had these, well, right here. So fairly close to my back wall. And with these speakers, I don't think that's ideal. I do think these speakers need a little bit of room to breathe because there is a lot of bass presence. It's not muddy at all. No, it's not muddy. Real good, real punchy. But this is not going to be the speaker for a smallish room. I had these hooked up to the Evo 150 from Cambridge Audio, the DeLorean edition. My new favorite amp. Also hooked them up to another one of my favorite amplifiers, the Advanced Paris. Both of these amps put out real good power. I never felt like this speaker was needing any more power than the Cambridge had. Now the Cambridge I think puts out 150 watts. Advanced Paris puts out even more. I preferred these on the Cambridge. Now with the Advanced Paris, there is a Class A bias that you can turn on. I had that turned on with these. A little bit too rich. I wanted to extract a little bit more detail from these speakers. And I got it with the Cambridge Evo 150. The one thing about these speakers is the tweeter generally isn't at ear level for me when I'm sitting on the couch. So my ear level when I'm sitting at the couch is really almost to the top of the top mid-bass driver. I kind of slumped down to see if I could get my ear directly, But this speaker kind of acts like a point source. So I didn't really hear all that much difference from when I was at ear level and I was slightly above. Now, if you're standing way above the speaker, then yeah, you're gonna get some treble drop off. But I was kind of surprised at just how easygoing it was from the standpoint of where my ear was at in comparison to where the tweeter was at on the speaker. The other tower speaker I have in here is the Emotiva TA1s, and the 5050s are a few inches shorter than the TA1s. So what is the thing that I finally figured out with these? Realism. These, I believe, are the most realistic speakers that I've ever heard from a tonal standpoint. From timbre, I think that's what it's called. From how realistic strings feel, but especially voices. Voices were so utterly in the room. I know that's super cliche to say. Voices were so in the room. Now there's speakers like the TA1s from Emotiva that I absolutely love, but they don't have a natural timbre to them, especially upper mid-range and treble. It's fun. I love it. There's a whole bunch of detail. But with these, with the Q Acoustics 5050s and the 5040s, I feel like it's a whole nother level of musical enjoyment if you're into that type of thing. The Emotivas do, I think, extract more air. So if that is your jam, then probably look at the Emotivas. But these Q Acoustic speakers, they just have me confused because I've never heard this before. You got detail. You have this vocal clarity that is otherworldly. You have this mid-range richness without ever being too much to cover up any of the detail. You have such dynamics, which means when a song is quiet and it gets really loud really quickly. A lot of movie soundtracks, think Hans Zimmer type of stuff. But it's an easy speaker to love, and it's an easy speaker to place. 5050s, they do need a little bit of room though to breathe. It's a perfect speaker. I wish it was $1,000 cheaper, but to be fair, I wish just about everything is $1,000 cheaper. Since these can be a little bit much, really close to a wall, I would check out the video I did on the 5040s. I will link that right here because I think this speaker is probably going to check off boxes for a lot of people. Got a big room? 5050s. Otherwise, make sure you check out this video, learn a little bit more about the 5040s. Thank you so much for watching.